my God! What am I gonna do? So you think you're gonna get a couple of bills and maybe a Christmas card next time you check your mailbox, huh?
Wrong.
No. You just might get one of these instead. That's your Merry Christmas gift from the government. So once you have this in your hand, you're probably freaking out a little bit. Oh my God! What am I gonna do? Oh my God! Calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. Trust me. Ugh. Everything's gonna be just fine. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Of course, jury duty is an inconvenience for a lot of people. Probably even most people. And maybe a financial hardship too. But if you ever find yourself in a really tough spot in life and you need answers, and you need them quick, there is a fail-safe thing you can always do. You simply ask yourself, what would Christopher Walken do? I would buy a universal remote. Ah, the universal remote. Did you get the reference? What if you had a universal remote? You just fast forward right through it to the end, and you're done. So don't worry, with this, you can reschedule. My county allows a postponement up to 3 times. Yes, 3 times. Okay, but even then, there's a number on here that you call prior to your service to see if you're actually going to be needed. So you might just call and find out you're not needed and you're done. Or it might be a 1-day, 1-trial jury system. Okay, so let's say that you do end up having to go in. All right. So you sit in the jury assembly room for a while and whatever. You know, sit there all day. With a 1-day, 1-trial jury system, if you aren't picked that day, then you're excused and you're pretty much out of the jury pool for a year. Okay, so they call your group number. And now you get to go into the courtroom and get interviewed. And the bigger your group number, the less likely you are to be picked because they have to go through all those people. You're going to have the defense attorney and the prosecuting attorney asking each potential juror questions. They're asking you these questions to determine if they think that you would make a good juror. And this is where you might hear a lot of rumors about how to get out of it, pretending to be biased or whatever. But you absolutely do not want to do that. Don't lie. And no, bringing a book written by O.J. Simpson to jury duty with you ain't gonna help you all that much. And neither is wearing a shirt that says jury nullification. You'll look really stupid if you do that. Yeah, people have actually tried that to get out of jury duty, and don't do it. Just don't. Be honest about everything. Never ever lie to try to get out of jury duty. Tell the truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth. Because the attorneys and the judge are very good at picking up on when somebody is lying. And if they catch you lying, it's all over for you. Last I heard, jail is not fun. And at this point, they might either dismiss you entirely, or they'll put you up in the jury box and they'll keep interviewing more and more people until they either find someone to replace you or you're picked. You're it. But don't worry, you will have the chance to tell the judge that it's a financial hardship for you, if it is. Because a lot of people can't do it. You know, it could mean the difference between not being able to pay the rent and being able to pay the rent. Still, there are a lot of people that are able to serve and do. Okay, so you're probably still worried about it. You're gonna have to take time off of work. It's not exactly what you want to be doing with your time, but you kind of have to. You got to remember that we have a jury system for a reason, and it's absolutely critical for our justice system to have this. And it is a small price to pay for being a citizen in this country. I mean, let's just say you were wrongfully accused of something and you're in the hot seat. So you have a choice between a bench trial and a jury trial. And a jury trial can work out in your favor. So just think of that person that might be wrongfully accused. I mean, if that was you, you would want those 12 people sitting over there, wouldn't you? Okay, so you just got picked. You're it. You're one of those 12. Now what? Well, I got a big surprise for you if you've never done it before. Despite all your apprehension about doing this, you're probably actually going to find that it's a fascinating process. I've done it before. It was a civil case rather than a criminal case, but it was still fascinating seeing the whole system work, from the inside. It was really an eye-opener, and I think everybody should do it at least once in their life. Now, granted, I can't do jury duty because I have a medical condition that does not allow me to sit for very long periods at all. It barely pays. It pays like $15 a day after the first day. And they pay your mileage too. So the pay sucks. It's the government, right? But they pay you in knowledge. And knowledge is a good thing. You learn so much by doing this. You're probably not going to be picked if you consider that they're choosing 14. Yes, so it's 12 jurors and 2 alternates that cover in case one of the other jurors gets sick or something. So 14 out of probably what? 100 or 200 people, I'm guessing. So your chances are fairly slim of even getting picked, even if you go in for the day. But if you do get picked, it is actually quite an amazing experience. Without a jury system, we'd have a crappy justice system. Well, not that the justice system is number one anyway, but we'd be a lot worse off if we didn't have a chance to have our peers judge our case, right? It's you who helps balance the scales of justice. Don't worry, you'll get through it just fine. And never ignore a jury summons. Failure to respond to a jury summons is contempt of court, which is punishable by a fine, 5 days in jail, or both. Okay, so what happens if you ignore your jury summons? Alright, you ignore the first one that comes, they'll just send a second one. If you ignore the second one, they send you a third one. That third one looks a little bit angrier, I think has some red ink on it, and it's an ultimatum that says either you come in this time, or you're going to be wearing those silver bracelets. Which I hear is not really all that fashionable. Okay, so what happens if you ignore the ultimatum? What happens then is the judge sends you a letter, and the letter is what's it called? An order to show cause. That's what it's called. Now, you get that mean letter. You absolutely do not want to ignore that one either. Because if you ignore the order to show cause, they will put a warrant out for your arrest. A bench warrant. Which means they're not going to come knocking on your door or come looking for you. They're not going to actively search you out. But if you get pulled over or you're contacted by law enforcement for any reason and they run a background check and they see you have a warrant, a bench warrant, they'll take you in and you get to spend 5 days in jail. So during the order to show cause, if you were to ignore the ultimatum, you show up in court and you have to explain to the judge if you had a good reason for not showing up. And the judge will decide whatever he or she decides to do with you. In some cases, they'll let you off the hook at that point if you agree to do jury duty and you set up a date and time to do it. So do not ignore anything that comes from the court, ever. Well, that concludes today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm gonna do a really funny video coming up soon. So, yeah. I'm all done filming. You feel like batting around those ornaments on the tree? You know you want to.